Imagine hitting a total population reset button on the planet. The waters recede, leaving behind an empty, muddy canvas and a single surviving family. Humanity has to find a way to move from this absolute vacuum back to a complex world of rival empires and distinct languages. Most readers find the answer in Genesis 10, though they often skip it. The Table of Nations usually looks like a boring terms and conditions page, a dry list of 70 names and bagats. Looking spatially reveals a coded geopolitical map. The regions shaded in green, red, and brown correspond to ancient bloodlines, anchored to specific geographic zones. Reading the data requires watching for glitches, where the author drops historical lore, highlighting sudden urban centers like Babel, Erech, and Akkad. Finding these specific figures in the data reveals the individuals who built the actual foundations of the ancient world. The text establishes a baseline rhythm with the lineage of Japheth. His descendants follow a predictable pattern, expanding steadily toward the northern coastal isles of the Gentiles. They divide peacefully by lands, tongues, and families, setting a standard expectation for how human expansion is supposed to look. That pattern breaks when we reach the lineage of Ham. The list of names halts to focus on one specific individual, Nimrod. The text gives Nimrod titles that set him apart from every other son. He is defined specifically as a mighty one in the earth and a mighty hunter before the Lord. Nimrod leads an aggressive urban expansion. He founds a centralized kingdom in the land of Shinar, building the major hubs of Babel, Erech, and Akkad. He then pushes his military boundaries outward to build Nineveh. This single figure introduces the concept of a multi-city empire to a world that, until this point, was comprised of wandering tribes. This anomaly marks the exact point where human history shifted from families traveling together to centralized, militarized kingdoms. We see a second major break in Ham's line. The author stops listing people and suddenly provides highly specific geographic coordinates for the land of Canaan. The text traces a hard boundary from Sidon down the coast to Gaza, then east towards Sodom and Gomorrah. This detailed TGS drop establishes the political stakes for the territorial wars, showing the Jebusites and Amorites tightly packed into this contested space. Finally, the genealogy of Shem reveals the third and most cryptic anomaly. The list introduces a man named Peleg, accompanied by the strange note that in his days was the earth divided. This division suggests massive historical tension, a geopolitical fracturing of Nimrod's empires, or the linguistic shattering at Babel. These anomalies transform the chapter into a targeted warning system, pinpointing the exact pressure points of territory and division that define human conflict. By the end of the chapter, the empty post-flood world has been replaced by a fully populated, highly complex globe. The resulting dataset identifies exactly 70 nations, categorized by their families, their languages, and their specific lands. This data maps the cycles of tribal expansion, the rise of powerful empire builders, and the drawing of hard borders. This chapter identifies the key players and establishes the rivalries that will repeat through thousands of years of recorded history. Every historical saga requires a map to establish its stakes. Genesis 10 provides the primary coordinates for the story of human civilization.